outside of what a piece of paper says about you. No matter how well crafted your LinkedIn is, or no matter how well crafted your resume is, it doesn't necessarily give people a whole lot of insight to what's going on between your ears and the way you think about things, the positions you take on things, how you think critically about different things. And LinkedIn is a really fantastic place for you to be able to do that and not just copy your resume and put it out there. Should you do that? I mean, not necessarily just copy your resume, but should part of your resume showing your career history, should that be on LinkedIn? Yes. But should that be the only thing that's out there? I think you're missing a massive opportunity to do that. And again, this can sound overwhelming for people who may be more of the passive consumer of social media versus the active participant. I've coached a lot of people as they've gone through this and tried to figure out, how do I use LinkedIn then? Because I'm not a content creator. I'm not someone who's going to start generating selfie videos or doing all that feels overwhelming to me. And that may be where you get to, but that may not be where you start. Some of the things that just on a foundational level, I encourage people when it comes to using LinkedIn, don't be the person that either does nothing with it or only goes through and hits like on a bunch of stuff. Hitting like on a bunch of stuff, while yes, it will show up in your activity feed, doesn't really tell anyone much of anything about who you are as a professional and what you have to showcase. I think one of the earliest steps that people can take to help build a little bit of a brand, and actually this will dual with the networking piece as well, is put thoughtful comments on other people's content. See what other people are posting and have reflect on what they had to say, come up with a really thoughtful response to what they have to say and share it. That is a really easy way to start showcasing the way you think and the way you work and how you position yourself in the space. And being able to do that, one, not only does it help, but it's actually going to start building relationships with you in the network. And I think that's a really important piece. And it makes it easy instead of feeling like I've got to come up with writing my own long form content or my own short form content. It's an easy way to start getting a feel for what is your voice? What is the voice you want to present out to the world? And how do you do that? And I think commenting, sharing, another great way to start small is to read an article and pick out a few thoughts. I've seen some people who take articles and they just copy and paste the text from the article and put it in quotes and share it. To me, I feel like that doesn't really show me much of anything other than, to me, this would be the equivalent of check the box exercise type stuff. This shows me you may have read it. That's about all it tells me about you. You may have read it, and maybe this is something that stood out to you. But for all I know, you just scrolled through, found a paragraph or a few sentences and copy and pasted and then shared the article type of thing, trying to show that you read the article. To me, I don't think it says a whole lot versus someone who reads an article and shares a few insights that they had from the article or a position that they've taken. Or sometimes I love when people take a contradictory approach. I read this, I would actually challenge this. That to me, and again, this is me speaking as a hiring manager, that to me speaks to, this is how this person is thinking critically about these things and the point of view that they bring and the skill and knowledge that they bring to the table as it comes to things. And this can be a really easy entry level way for people, for you to start building a little bit of a brand around yourself, because people can start to see who you are. And believe me, I don't think I'm alone in this, but this is the kind of stuff I do when I get a resume or somebody applies to a job that I'm either aware of on my team or that reports directly to me. One of the first things I do is go look at somebody's LinkedIn and I go to their activity feed. I'm not necessarily interested in what all their jobs are. I can look at the resume to see that. But what I am interested in is, are they someone who's actively engaged in the community that is learning and development? Are they engaging with their peers? Are they someone who's involved in some of this stuff? And I think that's a really important thing that I often see is missed. The number of people I see on LinkedIn who, if you go to their profile, and I'll just speak to like when I'm hiring, the number of people I go see when I go to their profile and it's either just bare bones or there's maybe a copy of their resume and no activity in the last 90 days. The opportunity you're missing is, let's just say I'm that hiring manager, is you're missing an opportunity to tell me a little bit of a story about who you are and how you think about our field and the kind of thoughtfulness and critical thinking you put in to the work that I would, as a potential hiring manager, be asking you to do. And I think that's an opportunity that you don't want to miss.